Hello again everyone, Mary Rose here at Stitch Bliss Corner with the wrap-up for Mania 2022. I completed the second piece on the 24th of May, so I thought, well, I'll just do a little wrap-up for everybody and then you can all go about your business. Now, I just thought I'd recap on the first piece that I completed, which was the Kate Beetle piece, Bayside Cottage. And I just thought I would just show you the palettes, which they were quite generous there, weren't they? I mean, I'm usually quite dismissive of the amount of threads that, that they don't always provide you with enough, but they did very well with these petites at any rate. And I'll just do a close-up of the stitching for the final time. So that's that piece. Now I will go to the stages of the second piece, just so that you can see how I went through with that one. And then when you get back to me, I shall show you the second piece. Evening of the 22nd, and very close now to finishing the crosses. Helped by the fact that a lot of these were half crosses. And I'm going to start the couching. And once I finish that, I'll be back to wrap up Mania. 23rd of May. And I think I've done all the crosses and the half crosses now. So I'm going to go on to the couching. It's about 12 o'clock in the daytime, so we'll see how far I can get. Evening of day 23, and I've started the outlining with the couching, and I noticed that I thought I'd finished all my crosses, but I had another look and I had to do the crosses there this morning because I'd somehow overlooked it, so I've done that now. I've done the shutters and the little verandas or balconies here. There's some lazy daisy stitch there for leaves hanging down from the pots. I've put in the edging on and put the restaurant sign in and the cafe sign, and gone around the urn here. The chairs and tables are coming in. So I should be finished all of the outlining and couching by this evening, but we'll just see how I go today. Well, here we are, the 24th in the evening, and I have finished, around tea time I finished doing my couching and outlining of this piece, and the transfer of this artwork to stitching is amazing, how they've managed to put it into such a small area. Usually with stitching, the more detail you put in, the bigger a piece has to be, but somehow or other Dimensions has managed to get stitching designers that can condense a piece down in size, which is really quite remarkable. And I did the paving, the tables and chairs, and also over here there's the French knots here and some more lazy daisy there, and of course the boats. I was tempted to put a bird or something, which I might do myself for my own, because it wasn't on the original stitching here, but I do like a little bit of wildlife or something in a picture, not just, you know, no people. It just seems a little bit lacking in that way, that it just needs a bit of life in it somewhere. But I can worry about that on my own time later. So this is my final piece, the second piece for Mania. Right, so that was the second one, which I was going to finish on the 23rd, but it went through to the 24th. You know, when you put your eye over things again and you notice things that you didn't quite finish or whatever. And that was, of course, this one, which you've just seen, Overlook Cafe. And that one was by Sun Kim. And I'll just show you the close-up of that. I hope that's all in there. I can't see what I'm showing you, so I'm hoping that you get to see it all. Harlequin did suggest, actually, because I said about putting some wildlife in there. And he said, what about putting a whale in there with the spout? I said, no, I don't really think that I could... well, at least you couldn't really put one in there to scale. So yeah, I sort of decided against that idea from Harlequin, and I must take this time to thank him very much for all his work for me, putting these videos together anyway, but particularly in Mania, where you have daily updates and everything, and he's got plenty to do. He couldn't really get a job because he's too busy being retired. He's busier than he was when he was working, put it that way. I've never seen a man so busy. Anyway, now what else was I going to say about this? I think one of the surprises of this piece here was that for this area over here, they wanted these two colours as a blend. And I looked at it and I thought, you know, blue and green should never be seen except upon a gypsy queen. Isn't that what the saying used to be? But putting those two colours together, it really did make a very nice blended colour for a hillside. Until I just get this. I mean, it really was, I mean, who would even think of that? So I'm just getting these two threads. Gosh, it's hard to see those now. Oh, just against a piece of paper. But they do go beautifully together, which surprised me. So I tend to be very conservative with my colours. Oh, and with a lot of other things. I mean, conservative means to conserve the status quo, to conserve what you've got. So I suppose that makes me very passé in the modern world. But I'm happy in my snow globe existence. I've got my own little world here. And that's what I'm sticking with. I don't think, you know, if you want to stay sane, I think you've got to do a certain amount of that. Just concentrating on your own surrounds and what's best for you and your family and your friends, because there are things that are beyond anyone's control. Oh well, even the ones that think they're controlling things. It's amazing how things can go awry, even with the best laid plans. There are things that end up with a momentum of their own, and one thing leads to another. So, you know, you kind of think that those that think that they have got their hands on the levers and know what, you know, they have their intentions. It doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's going to go. Gosh, stitching. How deep is stitching, I tell you. All right, well, that is my mania, and I must say that I really quite enjoy. I did surprise myself, actually, as to how quick I could get through those. And I did think about doing a third one, but I thought, just don't go crazy. And I did have another piece that I'm wanting to move on, which is the Rise Above piece that I've shown before. I'll just show you the picture because people might not have seen any of my other videos. It's this one, and I've made a start on that one, and I'll just show you where I got up to. And this is the horse here, and the leg, that's the horse, like the side of him, and that's the leg of this one here. I'll just show you the spot. It's a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, you know, it doesn't make any sense until a few more pieces are in there. But it's just this part here, the legs coming in, and that's the chest of the horse. So I shall be working on that. So that's my wrap up for Mania 2022. All the best, everybody, and I hope your stitching goes really well. The next video I do will be the tips and hints. I'll probably just need a little while. This one here, what have I done with it? I left my grids markers there because I'll be using this in my tips and hints just to illustrate a few points. So I shall be back then, probably in the next couple of weeks or so, depending on what's going on in the household, and I shall catch you next time. So it's goodbye from me.